up? It is Raphael with NBA Draft Junkies. I have a new video for you today. This episode was previously recorded for my Locked On NBA Draft podcast. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Locked On NBA Draft. I have a show every Monday and Thursdays. It's on the Locked On Network, one of the biggest platforms. They have a podcast for pretty much every team. So, like, I'm a Blazers fan. I listen to Locked On Blazers, Locked On Mavs, etc. But in this episode, me and my brother talked about Franz Wagner. It turned into a little bit of a debate. James thinks Franz is more so a 5. I think he's a 4. He actually compared him to Kelly Olynyk. I don't necessarily see it, but check it out and give your opinions. But also, thank you to my new subscribers. I've reached 14,000 subscribers. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. I have a lot more of these videos coming up for you. All right, now let's get into the debate I had with James about Franz Wagner.
Give me your thoughts on Franz.
I like his playmaking ability. He can legit pass.
Yep.
Like him as a pick and roll ball handler it's a surprise, a pleasant surprise, especially with him being 6'9", about 220. So like especially with the way the NBA is played now, like that's going to translate for sure. So his playmaking is my favorite thing about him. Just kind of interested to see what kind of shooter is he really.
Yep.
And what I know it's positionless basketball, and you say he's a combo forward, but I think he may be more of a combo 5 than a combo forward. I don't see what threes are is he guarding.
I think he's a pretty decent defender. I think
he's a threes though.
I think he's a good defender with his length and his effort. I mean, like he had a good combination of steals and blocks and toughness. I think that's a big part of playing defense is being tough and effort. I think he has that. I think he's a combo forward. I mean, it's interesting for you to say you think he's a combo 5. So, let's get into it. Why do you think he's a combo 5?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so he can handle the ball and he can attack closeouts, but I don't see him beating closeouts against wings. So offensively, his best bet may be to take advantage of his ability to attack closeouts and spread the floor. So to me, that would be against bigger guys, 4s and 5s, more so than 3s and 4s. And again, I know it's positionless basketball, that good stuff, but to me, I would want him matched up against my 5 or your 5 to take advantage of everything he has. So if you put him, so you see what again, I'm not comparing him to Zion, but what they do is Zion is they run 1-4 pick and roll, right? And they put you in a bad position, all right? If you run a 1-4 pick and roll with him, he can post up guards. You know what I'm saying? Because again, he's not backing down and he's not, Jokic on the block or anything like that.
No.
But he can take advantage of a smaller guard. I don't think he's posting up and taking advantage of a OG Anunoby or Tatum or Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think he's more of a combo 5, which that would benefit his abilities the best.
I mean, I just think that a creative coach can find different matchups for him.
But hold on real quick. So like, again, I'm not saying it's a one-on-one comparison, but Pascal Siakam is best when he can take advantage of slower footed guys, right? So when you put 3s on him, like Jaylen Brown guarded him one-on-one in the playoffs, it was Clamp City. Sit on the spin move. He's not strong enough to back you down, right? Where is it when he was at his best, he could take advantage of bigs. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't necessarily playing a 5 though.
He wasn't, but he was attacking 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
When I figured out you could put a 3 on him, it was curtains. So to me, I think Franz should be attacking 4s and 5s, which to me makes him a combo 4 or 5.
I mean, I like him because of the versatility. We talked about him in pick and rolls. I think if you got a guy he's listed at 6'8", that can play the pick and roll, I think he's a ball mover. I think that he plays like a winning style of basketball. Better athlete than advertised. He's fluid. I know when I look at athleticism, I see more than just explosive vertical athletes running, jumping. He's fluid. I think he's a good rebounder. And I mentioned like he plays tough. And I like the fact that he can get the rebound and push the ball himself and make plays. I think that's very key to like team success, is a guy that can get the rebound and then he can pass the ball ahead to your point guards and allow your point guards to attack or just kind of initiate the offense on a rebound. I don't have him as a lottery pick right now. I have him outside the lottery. The UCLA game, 1 for 10 shooting. And I know, remember the old saying, you're only as funky as your last cut. You're only as good as your last game. How much value do you put into that 1 for 10, 4-point performance in the NCAA tournament?
It doesn't mean anything to me. Because, I mean, like, I remember Chris Paul got locked up by a family band against St. Joseph's. Like, the dude's whole job was to pick up Chris Paul full court. Chris Paul's still at number 3, still top 10 point guard ever. Recently, Trae Young had a terrible first game, so it's like, it's one game. Guys have bad games. I mean, I don't hold too much stock in it. I mean, he went 1 for 10, but at the end of the day, he still was he got open looks. He took those shots, he missed them, but they needed him to get to that point. So I'm not gonna put all my eggs in the basket that he had a bad, Elite 8 game.
Do you have a comparison for him?
I hate complexion comparisons, man. He's not the same build, not the same size, but I look at what Kelly Olynyk does as a stretch 5 that can make plays, that can take advantage of post-ups at times. That's what I kind of see. Hey, man.
What? Kelly Olynyk?
What's wrong with Kelly? You see what Kelly Olynyk is doing? Again, Kelly Olynyk, when he played the 5 in the finals, the Lakers had no answer for him stretching the floor and making plays and hitting cutters, right?
Yeah, but at the minimum, Olynyk is going to be a shooter. We don't know that about.
Is he though? Again, okay, Olynyk in college he shot 1 3 a game every year, so we didn't know he had that kind of volume. Even now, I think he's like a 33% 3-point shooter.
At the 5, that's valuable.
It is, okay, and the same thing for Franz Wagner. I just think he's more of a rep shooter because he's white and he shoots a bunch of them. He not Bertans.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody really thought of him as a shooter. That was like the biggest weakness. I saw him 2 years ago, and he really wasn't a shooter, and he wasn't his freshman year. Still only like 3 attempts a game, which is, it's okay. And the percentages was like 34. It was about 37 for a decent amount of the season, and it went down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think that the shooting was always like the biggest concern for him because, I mean, he only shot like 31% as a freshman, and again, it got up this year.
But in the NBA, he's going to be expected to stretch the floor.
Yeah, definitely.
He can shoot, or he will be a good shooter.
Yeah, I mean, the free throw percentage projects to be a good shooter. He's always been efficient, 45 and 47%.
Olynyk isn't the shooter that people think he is, percentage-wise. Like, he makes and takes a bunch of them, but, like, he's a career league average 3-point shooter.
And I don't see the Kelly Olynyk comparison at all.
Where do you see the comparison?
I mean, Kelly Olynyk isn't playing like a ball handler like that. I think he's a good dribble handoffs, but I mean, I think that Wagner can play a little bit of like point forward for you.
But how many you're gonna trust Franz Wagner to play point forward for you?
I mean, not be your main guy, but I'm just saying like a role similar to Ingles. Maybe even
Ingles can play legit point guard though. He's a legit playmaking, bring the ball up, full court pressure. Like he's a point forward. Ingles is the 2021 version of, he may not be the scorer, but like that's Turkoglu all over again. Like when Conley's out and Ingle plays the point, like his everything goes through the roof. He's the playmaker. So I don't see Joe Ingles in him. No way. Joe Ingles can handle the ball like full time if he wanted to.
I think Wagner can play some point forward for you.
Joe Ingles is a wing.
I know, and I think Wagner is a combo wing.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a full-time, but I think he could be your secondary playmaker. I think on a winning team, you already have like your main initiator, your point guard, but you have another guy on the floor that can run side pick and rolls, that can initiate the offense if you get in a situation late in the shot clock.
You think you're going to be able to run big to big pick and roll with him in the NBA?
Yes, I do.
I don't think so.
I do. We'll have to come back on this. I guess this ended up being a debate. All right, man. This is Raphael. Got my brother James in the house, and we'll have more of these videos coming to you throughout the summer up into the draft. And we are out.